What is going on, you wonderful people? My name is Jay, and today we are taking a look at the Aspire BP60. If you're new around here, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell, because that way you guys will get notified every time I upload a brand new video. But now that's out of the way, let's get into the video. In today's video, we are taking a look at Aspire's brand new pod mod, the BP60. For those of you who have been subscribed for a while, you guys will know that I'm a massive fan of Aspire. They always pride themselves on producing the best flavour possible from all their coils. Now for me personally, I'm more of a flavour chaser than I am a cloud chaser, and when it comes to pod systems and pod mods from all different types of companies, we're all at a very good standard for flavour. Having said that, Aspire always seem to find a way to take the bar and raise it to the next level. So I want to know if they've done that with the BP60. But that's enough of me talking, let's take a look at the Aspire BP60. In your box, you will get one 1400 mAh BP60 device, one 2mm pod, one 0.6 ohm mesh coil, one 0.3 ohm mesh coil, and a USB-C charger cable. The BP60 is a little bigger than the average pod mod, but it still fits lovely in the hand. It's a very compact device with a premium feel to it. Aspire have added a few features on the BP60 that just make me happy. For example, it does have an adjustable airflow. On the side, you can move that from left to right and adjust your airflow just how you like it. I said the word just way too much in that sentence. There is also a removable top cap, which does fit nice and snug and is very easy to remove and fit. It seems as though mouth caps are becoming more popular. When I first received the BP60, I was a bit shocked on the overall size of this pod mod, because I was trying to work out what Aspire were trying to achieve. I'm not saying that it's too big, but let me show you a few pod mod devices so you can kind of get more of a comparison in terms of size. So for example, we've got the Aspire BP60, we've got the Cloud Flask, which is obviously a direct lung built-in pod mod device. But then if we get something like the Vape60 Gen Nano, which is what I like to call a hybrid with a tank and inbuilt battery with a big range of coils for mouth to lung or direct lung, they're all a very different size. So I was trying to work out what Aspire was trying to do with the BP60. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's just something that I've noticed. But after a good 10-15 minutes of using the BP60, it did fit really nice in the hand and it made sense as to why it was this size. Now I personally think that the standard we're at for pod systems and pod mods is pretty high. So now we're finding companies trying to come up with different designs but keeping them compact and adding little accessories to make your experience a bit better. Now I do have to say, my first impressions of the overall design of the BP60, it's a beautiful looking device. It's very sleek, very compact. I love what Aspire have done with the design. So this is the red honeycomb, and as soon as I took it out of the box, I was like, this just looks so cool. It looks awesome. To remove your pod, all you have to do is pull the pod out towards you. And to fit your pod, slide your pod back into the device. To remove your coil, all you have to do is pull the coil out towards you. And to fit your coil, place your coil into the base of the pod and push down to secure. To fill your pod, all you have to do is pull back on the rubber bung, fill with your e-liquid and push the rubber bung back into place. You guys know that I prefer a side fill-in pod, and with the BP60 it's a very easy process and there's just no mess. It really looks like Aspire have tried to simplify every single thing about the BP60, and it really works. To turn on your device, all you have to do is push your firing button 5 times, and to turn off your device, simply repeat this process. To adjust your wattage, all you have to do is press the plus or minus button on the front of the device. If you press the buttons once, you will go up or down in 1 watt increments. But if you hold the buttons down longer, you will raise or lower the wattage quicker. To lock your device, press the firing button 3 times. And to unlock your device, simply repeat this process. We're starting to see a lot of companies utilise the auto draw feature in their devices, and we're also seeing companies stick to the traditional firing button system. Well, Aspire have integrated both into the BP60 and they've made it very simple for you to switch between. The BP60 has 3 different modes to choose from: A mode, B mode and AB mode. To switch between them, simply press the minus button and the firing button at the same time. I don't think a company could have simplified this any more if they tried. Aspire have gone for A mode for auto draw mode, B mode for button draw mode and AB mode to allow you to do either. Can't really get any more simpler than that. You guys know that I love a good auto draw feature, and if I'm being honest, I've been using the Aspire BP60 for just over a week now, and I tend to leave it on AB mode, which allows me to use the button and the auto draw feature. And that isn't because the auto draw feature isn't very reliable, in fact it's not failed me yet, but I typically prefer mouth to lung style vaping, and these coils are more aimed at direct lung style vaping. So if I turn the airflow right down and use the button to fire, I can get a very unique mouth to lung hit. But that's just me though, I know everyone's different, and I know that this device probably isn't intended to be used that way, I just really like it. It seems to me that Aspire have gone for simplicity when it comes to the BP60, and there's one feature which keeps this device extremely simple. The BP60 will automatically set the wattage for the coil that it reads, and it will also stop you going above the maximum wattage for that coil, meaning you won't accidentally burn out your coil. Some people may get a little annoyed that you can't adjust the wattage above the maximum that the coil will allow, but let's be honest, why would you want to go above the recommended wattage for the coil? You're just going to burn it out even quicker. The amount of vapors I speak to, whether it's you guys in the comment section, people at work, or just friends and family that have accidentally burnt their coil out because the wattage was way too high. Some people may think this feature is overkill, but me personally, I absolutely love it. It just makes everything so much more simple. So if you are relatively new to vaping, you haven't got to worry about accidentally setting the wattage way too high and burning out your coils. Now obviously you can still turn the wattage down if you don't want it as high as it set it. It just stops you going above the max. So it's a perfect feature. The USB port is located on the side of the device. Aspire have decided to fit a USB-C charging port on the BP60, and I'm telling you, 2020 is the year where most companies are making that transition to USB-C. So I'm always happy when I see a USB-C charging port. I said the letter C so much in that sentence. But now you know everything about the Aspire BP60, how does it vape? Firstly, I tried the 0.6 mesh coil, and the flavour was amazing. Very smooth inhale with no spitback or leaking issues. Secondly, I tried the 0.3 mesh coil, and again, the flavour was amazing. A very smooth inhale with no spitback or leaking issues. There was one thing that I found with the Aspire BP60 which genuinely blew my mind because I wasn't expecting it. When I first started using the BP60, there was something different about the inhale and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Then I realised there's a separate part of the mouthpiece that's built in which allows cold air to mix with your inhale. Now I know that sounds a bit strange, but honestly it's a very unique inhale and I really do enjoy it. From all my time vaping, every time I've had an Aspire coil, they typically run a little bit warmer compared to other companies' coils. And there's nothing wrong with that, some companies' coils run cooler and some run warmer. I've just found that Aspire coils typically run a little bit warmer. And when you include this new cooling feature which is built into the mouthpiece, it's an absolute game changer. If I'm being honest, it wasn't until I started mouth to lung in this device at a very tight airflow that I started to notice that cold air coming in through the side. And for any of you that have used the BP60, leave a comment down below because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now this device is definitely made for direct lung vaping and you still notice that cooling feeling. It's just a little more subtle because that's how the device was designed. Overall, Aspire have released a fantastic little pod mod. It's very simple, the flavour is genuinely one of the best flavours I've had from a pod mod device ever. It has all the features and accessories that you need regarding a mouthpiece, an adjustable airflow, USB-C charging, and a very simplified menu. When you're new to vaping, you do want a device that you can pick up and use without having to feel like you're struggling to use the user interface. For example, you don't want a very complicated menu, you don't want a lot of settings to change, you just want to pick it up and vape it. And I personally think that the Aspire BP60 is a simple pod mod device. Now I would recommend this to anyone who's looking to make the switch and wants a direct lung style device, and also anyone who's into your direct lung vaping, and also fans of pod mods. Like I said, I've actually been using this as a mouth to lung device in between the direct lung inhales by having a tighter airflow, and it works pretty well. But if your device has a mouthpiece, I always see it as a plus as long as it works. And the BP60 is a very tight fitting mouthpiece that you're not going to lose in your bag. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. Do you guys like the style and design of the Aspire BP60? What do you think of the new features that they've implemented? Leave a comment down below. I love talking to you guys and hear what you guys have to say. And that wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like. Remember to subscribe with notifications turned on if you haven't already. Now, if you guys want to keep up with my day-to-day and see the behind the scenes of how these videos are put together, then make sure you follow my Instagram for my daily Instagram stories, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace.